All right, so starting off for his presentation, Hetzel says that Christian ethics has often become regulated to personal ethics, focused on our individual actions, instead of considering our collective responsibility for society. It is vital that we move from a one-sided emphasis on personal ethics to an ethics that is both personal and social. So this is going to be for church history people. Early 20th century Christianity will ring the ears here, and then 1970s Christianity, and then probably all of us can recognize some of the rhetoric of today in here. He goes on to say, rooted in a tradition of generously orthodox Christianity, prophetic ethics turns outward towards action, discipleship, embodiment, mission, justice, and above all, revolutionary love. I think he wants you to focus on love, but I would focus on the revolutionary aspect of that. We need to make sure that we're all talking the same language, so hopefully he'll clarify some of his terminology here.
Yeah, he goes on in this introduction of his chapter to say that he wants to present prophetic ethics as a model of Christian ethics that discerns and partners with the Holy Spirit's movement in our world, transforming lives and communities, he says, witnessing to Christ and the kingdom and holding out hope for the restoration of God's good creation. So apparently here he wants us to help us to see that ethics can make God's creation better, or at least as we follow, his take on ethics. He says, when we understand the structural causes of oppression, we are better equipped to work for positive social change. And so right away we see that, again, as you mentioned, he's making this distinction between personal and social ethics, and he wants to focus his ethics on social change in our society, right? And so, and we'll see that as we go through here. He's going to emphasize the social aspects of the gospel, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. So, and again, let's kind of me tone down the internal rhetoric happening in my head and say this is what I can agree that the church as a whole wants. It wants to produce people that it motivates to go out into the world and affect change. When we talk towards the abortion issue, we want change to happen both in the hearts and lives of the individual people, but also from a national point of view or a state-to-state point of view, a society point of view, where baby murder isn't the first response that is in our list of choices that when we talk to the OBGYN on discussing birth. And so there is an aspect where I'm if I were reading this with fresh eyes, unencumbered by the past 15 years of what we've been experiencing within both the church and outside the church trying to come in, I could buy some of this. But again, we need to make sure that the terminology that we're using here is on the same level as what both sides are thinking of. Again, this is one of the reasons why, when we're talking with Mormons, Latter-day Saints, or Jehovah's Witnesses, when we use Christianese, we need to understand that sometimes we're coming at this from different perspectives when we use the terms such as creation or righteousness or preeminence and the various aspects there.
And we'll see here that he gives some interesting definitions of some of those terms here as we go through. So.